First of all, I would like to thank each and every one of you for the incredible amount of support, the many comments and contributions to this deep commentary, the likes, the subscriptions, everything. Um, I'm literally blown away by the fact that people are still interested in the many interpretations and deep dives of Elden Ring's lore. Um, Thank you. Thank you truly. So today we will look at the opposite side of the coin, the Golden Order. And finally I will try to answer the question, what is the Elden Ring? Let us begin. In the intricate tapestry of Elden Ring's lore, few concepts hold as much sway and significance as the Golden Order. Serving as both a divine covenant and guiding principle, the Golden Order shapes the societal fabric and moral compass of the lands between. This video essay delves into the rich history and profound implications of the Golden Order, exploring its origins, evolution, and enduring impact on the inhabitants of this world. The Golden Order traces its origins to the arrival of the Elden Beast, and then the Erdtree. Queen Marika took the mantle of God, and so the Elden Beast would eventually take the form of the Elden Ring, with the ring serving as her signet and the Erdtree being the towering symbol of her divine power and governance in the lands between. Marika became Queen Marika the Eternal. The Golden Order bestowed upon the residents of the lands between the principles and laws that would come to define Marika's rule, forging a sacred covenant between mortals and the divine, which is the greater will. So two concepts form the basis for Golden Order fundamentalism, the Law of Regression and the Law of Causality. The incantation reads, "Regression is the pool of meaning, that of things yearn eternally to converge." Subsequently, the Law of Causality reads, "Causality is the pool between meanings. It is the connection that form the relationship of all things." The Law of Regression seems to suggest that all things have an inherent pull to return to a state of pure unity, while the Law of Causality indicates a relationship between all things in the universe. In this sense, they're both essential ideas that highlight the interconnected nature of existence. However, the emphasis on regression also seems to suggest a desire to return to a form of non-existence or nothingness. So I think these laws are very interesting and quite profound in their implications for the nature of the universe and our place in it. There is also a connection to Nietzsche's philosophy, and I would like to separate the two Golden Order fundamentals and compare them with two concepts by the philosopher. I will first start with the Law of Regression, which could easily be seen as a reference to the Eternal Recurrence. While the idea itself is not original to Nietzsche, his response to it gave new life to the theory. The first published presentation of Nietzsche's version of the theory appears in the Gay Science, where it is proposed to the reader as a thought experiment. What if someday or night a demon were to steal after you into your loneliest loneliness and say to you, "This life, as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more, and there will be nothing new in it. But every pain and every joy and every thought and sigh and everything unutterably small or great in your life will have to return to you, all in the same succession and sequence. Would you not throw yourself down and gnash your teeth and curse the demon who spoke thus? Or have you once experienced a tremendous moment when you would have answered him, 'You are a god, and never have I heard anything more divine'?" Nietzsche expanded upon this concept in the philosophical novel Thus Spoke Zarathustra. Later writing The Eternal Return was the fundamental idea of the work. In this novel, the titular Zarathustra is initially struck with horror at the thought that all things must recur eternally. Ultimately, however, he overcomes his aversion to eternal return and embraces it as his most fervent desire. In the penultimate chapter of the work, The Drunken Song, Zarathustra declares all things are entangled, ensnared, enamored. If you ever wanted one thing twice, if you ever said, "You please me happiness, abide moment," then you want it all back, for all joy wants eternity. The law of causality, with its focus on the interconnected nature of reality, aligns with Nietzsche's idea on the will to power in the universe. The attempt to understand what really drives human beings is a theme which runs through much of Nietzsche's work. The will to power is one major concept by which Nietzsche attempts to answer the question, and so it represents a central theme in his works. He argues that the will to power is one of the forces which lie deep in human beings, by which we can explain much of human behavior. By extension, we can use the will to power to understand much of human history. The will to power essentially states that all things are in constant struggle to prevail over everything else and exercise their influence and control over it. There is a constant struggle for power between all entities, no matter how big or small. This may be through physical means such as war and conquest, but also through more subtle means, such as social and cultural influence. The point of this struggle is to ensure the survival of the strongest and the fittest. I feel like the law of causality can be interpreted as a reference to Nietzsche's concept, not only because I feel like it, but it states that all things try to exert their influence over other things. In this sense, the law of causality could refer to this concept by stressing the interconnectedness and power dynamics between all things in the universe. The driving force behind the Golden Order, the Elden Ring, and the Erdtree is an outer god named the Greater Will. This god sought to control the lands between, as the Erdtree, which is the symbol of divine power and domination, as mentioned before, looms over the denizens of this world. In my interpretation, Marika could be seen as a biblical allegory, just as how the Erdtree, in my eyes, is a clear symbol of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. In this regard, I believe that the fall of man and the shattering of the Elden Ring can be seen as similar events. Both involve the revolt against the divine and the rejection of divine authority. Let us delve deeper into this idea then. Adam and Eve disobeyed God and sinned against him. The main event of the fall is when they ate from the forbidden fruit, causing them to be cast out of the Garden of Eden and into the mortal world. Marika's shattering of the Elden Ring led to the eventual demise of the Golden Order and to a war for the runes. The Night of Black Knives became the catalyst for the shattering. After the death of her son Godwyn, Marika shattered the Elden Ring. As punishment for her trespass, Marika was imprisoned within the Erdtree, despite her godhood. Consequently, the shattering of the Elden Ring corrupted the Golden Order, resulting in the lands between falling to ruin. So what is then the Elden Ring? Well, the way I see it, the Elden Ring and its order is a metonym for the laws of nature. I believe it is pure mathematics. Each ending seeks to define and enforce a specific version, each adding or subtracting. From this, I can only think of Ludwig Wittgenstein and his Tractatus. First of all, Wittgenstein argues that mathematics consists of a series of logical propositions that correspond to the structure of the world. Mathematical statements, according to the philosopher, describe logical relationships between atomic facts and are therefore meaningful. He suggests that mathematics is, in essence, tautological, that is, a system that follows necessarily from logical truths. Mathematical propositions are not empirical statements about the world, but rather logical truths that hold by virtue of their internal structure. Wittgenstein's idea that mathematics is essentially a tautological structure of logical truths that hold by virtue of their internal structure is highly relevant to the Golden Order and its laws, We could interpret it by saying that the Golden Order attempts to create a perfect system of laws and values that are a reflection of the law of causality and the law of regression. These laws are viewed as the logical structure that underlies the universe. In this sense, the Elden Ring can be considered as a representation of this underlying order and structure of the universe. As we contemplate the profound implications of the Golden Order and the Elden Ring, we are compelled to ponder our place within this grand tapestry of existence. Are we merely pawns in a cosmic game, subject to the whims of fate and the laws of nature? Or do we possess the agency to shape our own destinies, to challenge the divine order, and forge our own path amidst the chaos? In the end, the answers lie not in the decrees of gods and the laws of the universe, but in the depths of our own souls, where the true essence of humanity resides.